Do you need time to prepare for this one?
About 1 minute, I will be.
Okay, 1 minute. I start from now. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, ready?
I'm ready. Yes,
Okay,
I'm ready.
let's go. Hello, doctor.
Hello, Babak. Please come in and take a seat.
Thank you.
How can I help you?
Well, doctor, this is the headache I get. It's on the left side of my head, it's just next to my temple. And I've had it on and off, and it gets so painful that I
Okay.
can't do anything. I just have to go lie down, and sometimes it's so bad that I actually feel sick.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I sometimes take paracetamol. It doesn't help. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it gets especially worse when I drink red wine, so it might
Red.
be relevant to that. And yeah, my mother had the same kind of headache as well, and um, she actually died 10 years ago. Uh, okay.
Okay. Okay, that's it. You told me that you have a headache on the left side and around the temple area.
That's
Mm,
right, yes.
yes, and the paracetamol doesn't relieve the pain.
No, it doesn't.
And your mother had a similar headache.
Yeah, she took
Yes.
something called barbiturate. Is that right? Is that a medicine like called uh, barbitol or
Yes.
phenobarbital, something like that? Yep.
Yes. Yes. The barbiturated medication we use for some um, situations and condition,
Okay.
and you think your mother used barbiturate for relieving the pain, the
It was for headache.
headache
Yes.
pain.
Yeah, she had the same headache, and then now she's dead now, but she died 10 years ago. But
Sorry.
yes, she had this medicine. Phenobarbital or something. Barbiton. Yep.
Yes. How many years ago did your mother take this medication?
Well, forever. I don't know. It's been for such a long time. I think, as long as I can remember, she took it.
Okay. Um, I think at that time, barbiturate is one of the choice of the treatment of headache. But nowadays, I think we have better medication than
Okay.
barbiturate
Good.
the
Okay.
pain. Yes.
Doctor, do you think it is something serious? But I searched the internet and it says it could be a brain tumor.
Brain tumor. You are worried about the headaches related to brain tumor, yes?
Yes, it was in the internet. It said if you have headaches, you might have a brain tumor, so see your doctor.
Okay. Can I ask some more questions about your headache?
Yes, sure.
Uh, well, what time did trigger your headache exactly?
Well, it's just random anytime, but I've noticed it is related to red wine too, because whenever I drink red wine, I definitely get a headache.
Okay, you said before that red wine is accelerated the pain and or trigger the headache. Okay,
That's right.
and yes, for example, uh, uh, do you experience some change in your sight or something like that, or
No, not really. It's just that this throbbing headache, and it is very bad. It is really bad. Do you think it is hereditary, doctor? Do you think it's the same as my mom's?
Yes, it is more likely that you have a headache such your mother. But if it is possible, can I examine you and the
Okay.
neurological examination
Yes,
to you?
sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
examination is normal.
Oh yes, your examination is normal, and based on your uh, history and examination, especially neurological examination, you have a migraine, and I think you don't need to worry about brain tumor. It's a kind of headache, and we have a potent medication to relieve the pain. Is that
Okay.
okay for you?
Yeah. So is it the same medicine that my mom took, or is it different?
As I said before, we have more useful medication than barbiturate nowadays to control the pain and prevent the trigger that comments the migraine headache.
Right.
Is that
But
you?
yeah, you said that is my headache is the same as my mom's, so that worked for her. So
Yeah.
maybe this works for me too. So why should
Uh,
I risk taking another medicine?
I can understand your concerns, but I think the, we have the better than barbiturate. Barbiturate is have more side effects to you to control the pain, but we have a new medication, especially for migraine. Barbiturate used 10 or 20 years ago for control the pain. But
Right.
nowadays we have a potent medication.
Okay, so we have. Is there a better medicine?
Yes, we have the better medicine and useful
Okay.
and helpful. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, doctor.
You're
So,
welcome. Bye.
okay. Yeah, it's nearly 2 minutes we uh, uh, ran over. Okay. So how did you feel?
I feel relaxed, and I don't know any hesitation to speak to you.
So you felt relaxed. Okay, good. Uh, do you think something particularly you did well?
I think empathy is well,
Okay.
and I try to explore agenda for the eyes
So
and
you explored eyes. Okay.
explain explain and respect the eyes, patient's eyes,
Okay.
and answer the patient's questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm, in the, for example, relationship is good. I think
So you
my
had good rapport.
building is good. Well, yes, rapport is good.
Okay.
The, information gathering and information giving, so 50-50, not
Okay.
very good.
So this could be better. So
Yes.
information, info gathering, and info giving. Okay. And how about the structure? Do you think you had a good structured consultation?
Yes, not very good structure, but 50, no, 70% is good.
Okay, so you say it's more good than bad. Okay, so the structure was good. Okay, anything else?
Fluency is better than before.
Fluency is better, but yes, you have some hesitation. Okay, good. So, yes, what do you think?
I think Rapport was good doctor, but he could have more sympathy with empathy with patients. Only one time he had empathy, but about information gathering, I think it was vague because there are more important questions about establishing the diagnosis of migraine. He didn't establish a diagnosis, and as he only by two questions he said that you have migraine, and
Okay,
I think there are more important about the red flags of headaches that you could ask from patient to say that if it's possible for tumor or not.
okay,
And also in information giving, I think he could explain more about barbiturates, and he can say that benzodiazepines are habit forming and they can make patient to be addicted to them, but he didn't say them, and he could explain more about other treatments for migraine, but he didn't say them, only say that there are good, there are some new
okay.
options.
Basically, we need to be convincing patient that
Yeah,
newer medicines are better. Hmm?
yes.
Mm,
And also, if I could say more in details, he didn't establish initially what the patient knows. He didn't pause periodically, and he didn't ask from the patient if he need further information or not.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, good. Thank you.
you're
So,
welcome.
um, what do you think?
I think in general it was good,
Okay,
but I think see about concern, a patient concerns about brain tumor, and I think couldn't convince the patient about concern.
okay. So we didn't address that. Okay,
Yes,
was not addressed sufficiently. Okay, okay. What else?
and anything about the similarity between patient and her mother.
What do you mean?
In the last session, you said that you should ask the patient about her mother condition and what is the similarity between patient and her mother, his mother.
Okay.
I
So,
think
uh,
yes.
yep. So basically, to we want to explain if it's the same or different, but we could probably ask more about his headaches and his mother's headaches both. So actually, to explore further. Okay.
Yes.
What else? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Was it a good structure?
I think yes, it was good.
Okay. So the structure was good. Right. Okay. Yeah. What do you think, Vessel? Do you think? I think about empathy. You can be saying that each time we can say, oh, "I'm sorry." Oh, sorry to hear that. All right. Okay. So you don't actually need to um, emphasize your empathy. Just even a facial expression sometimes is enough. So even if you say, "Oh, okay, right, okay," and the tone of your voice, the pauses, they can work as showing empathy. So it's not necessarily saying that, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." So I think he did show empathy. But about info gathering, I think, yeah, it's we need to actually ask at least 5 or 10 questions to make sure that we are gathering information. And we need to start with WH questions. And although the patient is explaining the headache, you can ask some close-end questions to check for red flags, to fill in the blanks. And one of the cues was that he said that the patient says the pain is so bad. Okay, you could ask, okay, how bad is it from 0 to 10, and is it always like that? Does it come and go? And when you take paracetamol, how better it gets. And then when the patient says, well, I feel sick, okay, have you ever been sick? Were you physically sick or you just felt sick? Okay. Or when you have the headache, do you feel anything else, like any sort of any visual signs, any which you asked, and or any other signs in your body, any unusual feelings? Um, so yeah, and the patient says, well, it gets worse with red wine. Is there anything else that triggers migraine?
Yes.
Light and noise.
Light and noise, and how about food?
Some drugs,
Food, yes,
some
sometimes
drugs, some
type of
Spicy
food.
food.
Spicy food, chocolate, coffee, uh,
yeah.
yep, and sometimes smells. Okay, so that's something you could ask and say, well, how about these? And about red flags, what is the most important red flag in brain tumors? What-
Neurologic sign, like
Okay,
visual sign, hemiparesis, hemiplegia.
okay, and what else? I mean, in the nature of the headache.
The headaches that
Constant.
are progressive and
Yep,
get bad and bad worse.
worse and worse. Yes, that's
Yes,
exactly.
sudden explosive headaches,
Yeah, so if
and
it's
also new headaches in those over 50 years old.
okay,
And
uh,
waking headache.
okay, haha,
Hello,
hello.
hello, hello, hello. I'm sorry. I'm sorry
Okay,
for play.
okay, welcome. So headaches when you wake up. Okay,
No,
so
no, no, doctor. A headache,
that wakes you up. Okay,
which wake you up. Yeah.
okay, the pain or the headache that is so bad that it wakes you up. Um, yes. So basically, these are the things we need to ask before you can tell that patient that you don't have a brain tumor. Okay, and right. So
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I have no time to ask these questions. I think my time is over if I ask 10 or 12 questions about for information gathering. Is
uh,
that what?
well, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, you need to be speaking a bit quicker, and you need to actually ask questions. These all have marks. Okay. Now, if you speak, let's say, 300 words in 5 minutes, uh, yes, that is low speed, so you cannot actually ask many questions. But you need to actually be speaking double the amount. So with the hesitations and with the slow rhythm, you speak less number of or fewer number of words. But in fact, you need to be able to cover this. In any case, mm, what we want is to show that you know what you're doing, and um, the examiners are not all professionals. Okay, they're not medical. So what they normally do is they look at the questions. Did you use open questions and did you use closed questions? And if you do that, there's a checklist, and they say yes, closed questions, okay, open questions, closed questions. So that ticks their checklist. So we need to do that. Um, Also, by the way, you can never say somebody doesn't have something, and you cannot always say that it is definitely migraine. Instead, what do we say? Do you
It
remember?
is unlikely, extremely likely or extremely unlikely.
That's good. Yes. So basically, we say, well, it is very unlikely to be a brain tumor because, and you give the reason. Brain tumors are progressive. Okay. So basically, and they have other symptoms like neurological symptoms. And if you haven't asked this, you cannot actually base your argument on that because you haven't asked. Okay.
Okay.
So you need to actually, in your information gathering, when the patient says, well, is it brain tumor? You need to ask these questions. Is it getting worse as time goes? Or do you have any other symptoms with it? And then later you can say, okay, you said brain tumor, but in brain tumor, the pain is progressive and it doesn't come and go, it gets worse and worse. And you would have neurological symptoms. So it's very unlikely. Is that okay? And you chunk and check. And then you say, yeah, I think it is more likely to be migraine because what you are describing is more like migraine and the way it starts. Okay. Uh, so in terms of structure, I think you could structure it a little bit better. I understand you think that you're worried that you might run out of time, but if you ask very good questions, okay, if you ask questions more quickly and efficiently,
Yes.
then you will have time. And it actually makes life much easier because later you can actually base your information giving on the information you have gathered and the eyes that you have explored already. So basically, you have done most of the job. You just have 1 minute to review those. Okay, so
Okay.
good questioning and a good summary. When you summarize, it does most of the job. Uh, okay. Anyone else? Any ideas? No?